إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين ونستغفره. نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار، وإنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين. I greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty Allah be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series 200 Hadith for Muslim Women by Muhammad S. Adly of Columbia, South Carolina. As for today, we're just dealing with Hadith 156, page number 87. Number 87. 157, 156, page number 87. عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أنها قالت. I'm sorry, this is Hadith 155. Hadith 155, page number 87. عن علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن الله حرم من الرضاع ما حرم من النسب. قال: وفي الباب عن عائشة وابن عباس وأم حبيبة. رواه الترمذي. Hadith reported by Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, that the Prophet ﷺ is saying, indeed Allah had made unlawful through suckling whatever He made unlawful through lineage. Islam concerned about family and unity and the brotherhood and sisterhood to be built on a proper foundation. And marriage is part of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made it lawful for us. And some marriages it continued, and some marriage they disconnected after a while. Some works and somebody sometimes, but the family, father, mother, brother, sister, there is a stronger relationship, and it's nothing supposed to break this relationship. And we've been ordered to be kind and nice and gentle and concerned about those who related to us by blood, and regardless they are above us or beneath us. That means father and grandfather, mother and going up, or children or grandchildren and things like this. But in this hadith is showing that there is another connection between family that ties them and keeps them united, regardless whatever is the condition. Because if a man doesn't feel comfortable with his wife, or she's disobedient to him, or whatever it is the case, he divorces her. If a woman doesn't love her husband, or she doesn't feel comfortable, whatever the reason, she can take khula. But with your parents, you could not do this. Your father, your mother, your grandfather, grandmother, your son, your grandson, this is always have to be a strong relationship. Nothing can spoil it. Nothing can stop it. It's not after time expired like marriage. It's always going to be there in this dunya and in the hereafter. And this when there is a family. But also there is another type of a relationship. The relationship between son and father and grandfather and grandchildren comes as a result of marriage. There is another means. This hadith is telling us about the relationship by suckling, by breastfeeding. A woman, when she breastfeeds a child, this is child became her son by nursing. And although that is not her son, he's not her father, his husband's son, but the relationship of breastfeeding makes this man to become like a father to this child. That means your daughter could not marry this person. Let's say that we have a sister by name Hamida. Hamida is a baby. Her mother died, and you took this Hamida and you breastfeed her. You became her mother by suckling. Your son, which is yours, you give birth to him, became her brother by suckling, by breastfeeding. He could not marry her, she could not marry him. So that means it's going to be establishing a endless relationship, could not be break by divorce or khul. And the Islam made rules about it. As example, it should be at least 5 times breastfeeding. That means this woman give you her breast and give you her milk for 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, minimum of 5 times. Now this woman became your mother by breastfeeding. Her daughter comes automatically to be your sister. She can uncover in front of you. You could not marry her, regardless she was after you or before you. This mother who breastfeed you became a mother to you. But this breastfeeding have to be in the first 2 years. Not to understand when it's 5 or 10 years old. There is conditions, there is fiqh about these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وأخواتكم وعماتكم. It's forbidden for you in marriage, your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your aunties. And he told us about your niece and your mothers who breastfeeding you. So the hadith is telling us, establishing brotherhood and sisterhood, not brotherhood or sisterhood, what you may say, almost equal, if it's not the same, that you have a relationship to the daughter of this woman who breastfed you while you was early age and breastfeeding. She became your mother, and any of her daughters or her sons became brothers and sisters to you. As a result of this, the Prophet ﷺ told us about the hadith, يحرم من الرضاع ما يحرم من النسب. It's forbidden through suckling for marriage. What is forbidden as a result of marriage? So the woman who breastfed you is your mother by breastfeeding. The man who is her husband became father to you by breastfeeding. So we have to take this in consideration and to understand that those whom Allah told us in Surah An-Nisa, women, verse number 23, that they are forbidden for us to marry, not only by a marriage and family relationship, but also as a result of breastfeeding. They will be equal in the treatment. They became part of the family and became part of those women who are forbidden to be married. The brother of your father became an uncle. A woman could not marry her uncle. A girl could not marry her uncle. So, the woman who had breastfed you while with a baby, a minimum of 5 times meals, and I say it have to be breastfeeding, not to understand somebody making some rice and put it in a bottle and giving it to you, or some milk from Food Line or Biggly Wiggly or whatever store, and we're talking about breastfeeding, okay? Because they're feeding the children nowadays many things. We're talking about something that grow out of your own body, which is the milk. So now the brother of this man who's supposed to be your uncle became an uncle to this girl that your mother had breastfeed her. She can remove her hijab in front of him. His son, because he became like a cousin, you can marry your cousin, but you could not marry your uncle, which is the brother of this man who was married to your mother. So in a long or in a short term, يحرم من الرضاع ما يحرم من النسب. It's forbidden through breastfeeding what is forbidden as a being according marriage. You could not marry your sister, you could not marry your aunt, you could not marry your niece. Now it doesn't matter now, is this because a family lineage or because your mother had breastfed? I hope that you understand my broken English and it's clear. We have to take this in consideration, so not to be doing something haram, displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these things have to be recorded or to be witnesses or to be informed to the people. That people have to know who is breastfed so and so. Because people sometimes they don't know. Okay? It have to be racket about things like this, or their family know about it. So if somebody go to propose to this girl later on, we say no, because your mother had breastfed this girl, you could not marry her. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. This is our class for today. If anybody have any correction or comments.
Yes, we have a question here. The sister wants to know, so do the kids inherit too?
Do they inherit too?
Yes.
I don't know. This is something I never thought about it, honestly, and I have to search it. I don't want to give my personal opinion, you understand, but I better think about this. So inshallah we'll get you some information about it tomorrow. Inshallah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the question. Okay, so she said I've nursed kids at the mosque. I've nursed kids at the mosque, so they're related to me now?
Any child that is breastfeeding and he's in the age 1 year up to 2 years, the period of breastfeeding, okay, and was more than 5 or to more than 5 times, not only give him he took one sucking, no, that means you give him your breast and he sucking until he full with a meal, a full meal. After this, yes, you became mother by breastfeeding, and this is became a son to you by breastfeeding.
So all my relatives are his relatives.
Exactly, whatever sister to you, same thing about marriage. So your daughter could not marry this.
What if, oh my.
Let's leave all these ifs. If there is a case exist, let's talk about it, okay?
She said, what if my daughter married one?
They have to dysfunction, what you call, to could not.
Oh,
Same thing
stop.
like if she marries to her, your daughter, to your own daughter. Are you going to continue? Let's say you understand that a war happened in any of the countries, and they took girls someplace and another boys some, and later on the discussion they get to found to that they are have the same father. Can they continue being in marriage? Of course not, because they are brothers and sisters. So the same thing, if you discover, get to know later on that this person is your uncle or your brother or whatever it is the relationship, this is not a marriage. You are not punished for it, but you could not continue this relationship. And please kindly, at least for my session, do not, I don't know, I don't like anybody to bring questions that is not in existence. If it exists, or in your case, yes, you can ask. It is very important to learn. But assuming things and giving you understand exact, no. You go to know the rules that's forbidden. You understand by suckling the same thing what is forbidden from a family relationship, and this it. We don't do it. If it
She
happened,
said, she said this has happened. She said, what about her grandchildren?
I don't know. Take it to a mufti. They have to fix the problem. You could not. What about if a person finds that he married to his mother? He's going to stay with her as a husband, assuming, you understand? All assumption, you understand? We could not. An unlawful relationship, but they did not do it intentionally. Does not mean you understand that I'm going to continue with it. Like he understands somebody ate. He doesn't know that sunset. He assumes that is the sunset already. He found later on after the rain that is still the sun in the middle of the sky. So
She said, why no one ever told her this?
this we have to be careful, like I say, that when who we breastfeeding, and nowadays understand because not too many people breastfeeding nowadays. They give them all these chemicals and uh, ready to go milk and different things, so became like it's not one of the subjects that people discuss it, but Allah knows best. And inshallah Sister Laila will check it for you more, okay? And myself, I'm going to look about what was the question that I said I'm going to check it out.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Suppose
No,
this
no
happened.
suppose. No, 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 no. Do not tell me
Okay.
about suppose. If it happened to you and it is a condition that you worry about it, go and ask a scholar. Okay? This is a serious subject. And we are not going to sit here for chatting and talking about if and buts and you understand, assuming. No, 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 no. We have to be very, very careful. And they said, Afallah amma salaf. Allah forgive you, understand what done by mistaken. But are we going to continue with the mistaken? So if somebody knows that this applies to them, go to a faqih, a scholar, a learned, uh, big turban, and tell him this is the case.
Okay, well, a lot of the women here it's happened to, evidently. So y'all hear him, sisters? Y'all just take this, now that you found out, y'all contact somebody else and deal with it. It's haram. And that's it, because it's about a lot of sisters have done this. These are real cases, Shaykh Adly. But he's letting y'all know he's not handling this. This is too big for him. He doesn't want to deal with that. This is some serious stuff. So y'all need to contact the proper people. I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is he gone?
No, he's still alive.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say with the hadith that the minimum amount of breastfeedings is 5 times? I heard a number, but I missed. Oh, was it
Yes,
clear?
ma'am. 5, yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like I said. Sometimes he gives the child the breast, he take it for a minute and leave it. Okay, this is not. I'm talking about he took a full meal, consider a meal to the child. Usually, a child, I understand, keep sucking for about what, 15, 20 minutes. This consider a meal. Do you understand what I mean by a meal for the child? So he did not take, you understand, the nipple for minutes, for 1 minute like this, and now he counts this as a breastfeeding.
I understand. Jazakallah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that we good to go for tonight, and you have subject to think and check it out and see what is going on. And if somebody give the information and want to bring it back to me, I will appreciate the information, inshallah. Every day we learn something new. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Allah knows best. Thank you.